morning and welcome to Sports Betting Illuminated, where we play with the house and not against it. I'm your host, Ariel Miller, author of Sports Betting Illuminated, an AI-powered path to profit. Good morning, David. It is so wonderful seeing you here bright and early, joining my live stream. Ready to win some wagers today? I am, but wow. Only one NBA game, no hockey today. Good morning, Derek. How are you doing? So we are going to be going over some wagers, taking it easy. I am still sipping my coffee this morning, waking up. What about you guys? I love a latte in the morning with a little bit of caramel and some of the foam on top. My absolute favorite. I can't wait until my new coffee maker comes in. It's been getting like handmade, so it has taken such a minute for it to even ship out to me. Alrighty, but when I have it, I will be sure to bring it on the show. So just to give you a quick rundown on my Major League Baseball ROI this season, we are currently sitting over a 40% ROI. We have had a 67.5% win rate so far this season, and we have played 122 units. So yeah, I'm really excited that we're sitting at a 40.4% ROI in baseball right now. That is huge, and it's just going to keep growing from here. Of course, there have been a little, maybe a rough game here or there. That is just natural variance. And as you can see, when you stick to your formula, when you stick to your handicapping strategy and apply it consistently, it really can be truly profitable. A 40% ROI is huge. I mean, it's hard to get that even out there in the stock markets or really in anything. Now, before we dive into some of our wagers today, and of course the WNBA is just getting started as well. We've had a 60% win rate so far this season, but we've only played 15 units, not a lot in the WNBA compared to our 122 in Major League Baseball. So, sitting at a tough percent ROI, it could improve, but 12% still definitely puts me into the professional handicapping league. So we're just gonna keep seeing how the WNBA develops throughout the season and betting on more and more games. So it's been a lot of fun. How are you guys doing this morning? What have you been up to? Got any big weekend plans? It's been kind of rainy here. Hey, Super James. How are you doing? That's exciting, Derek. So you'll be watching that. What about the rest of you guys? Getting caught up on some interesting reading? Oh, well, that's okay. We've just been chit-chatting, and don't even worry about missing the start of the show. We've just been chit-chatting. We haven't even gotten into our first cannabis wake and bake of the morning. Like, what? Yeah, but I'd love to hear about what you're reading, so feel free to throw it in the chat. Right now, I'm smoking some lemon lava. So this is basically like sunshine in a plant form. It's citrusy, but it also has kind of a vanilla, frosting kind of scent to it, but also a little bit of earthy, spicy taste. So very good if you want to get that nice head high, but really keep it going throughout the day because it's 11 o'clock, it's a Saturday morning, and we still have plenty of stuff to get done later on today. But to get a little buzz started early, I'm gonna take a little hit of this. Enjoy. I read what you're reading. That's true. That is true. Super James, Super James. Seriously, I don't know what I would do without you going over my sports wagering course. I've been fixing so many things up with, your eye of detail and asking the right questions, and everything has been super. So yeah, I love how this course is going, and I think we're gonna have something, really soon to like start putting up online and allowing people to go through. And really, like, most of these chapters have been written, but yeah, I'm excited for you to start like reading some more chapters. I'm gonna start writing some more chapters in there, like about the whole AI portion of sports betting, and like how you could set up your own models and even deploy them. And yeah, so I'm I'm glad it's looking good. You've really helped me clean things up. It's gotten my work has gotten so much better because of you, Super James. Hey, happy Sunday, Saturday. I don't know why I said Sunday. You said it right there. Happy Saturday, Brian. It's so nice seeing you, and I must have gotten a little high or something, because, woo! I do like this lemon lava. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. You know what I say? I like to sit back, relax, and get my mind right to win some wagers. Who's ready to win some wagers today? All right. Starting in NBA with our single NBA game, the Knicks are playing the Pacers at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern tonight. I am sure a lot of people will be watching this game, but this has been, just looking at this spread, this has been really interesting, seeing what's going on here. It opened up with the Pacers at -3.5. And watching this line, the money has come in. A lot of people are starting to bet on this game. I mean, of course, it's the NBA, it's the Knicks playing the Pacers, but anyways, money has already been coming in on this game, and this line has just been bobbing between -3.5 and -4. And the thing is, all the people who like the Pacers, really like it at -3.5, and then they play it and they play it and they play it. The sports books push it to -4, right? Okay, now all the people who are going to take the Knicks at +4 then come flooding in because they like the +4 number for the Knicks. So, I mean, they come flooding in, pushing it back, and right now it looks like it's just completely hit equilibrium point. At this point, the little bit of back and forth is just, money coming in on one side and then money coming on the other side. Everyone who likes the 3.5, like, they're trying to grab that, but then once it moves to -4, everyone's trying to grab the +4. So this is a perfect example of when a game is when this line is in a true balanced state. You have all of the players involved, the sports books, people on both sides, and this is one of those positions where, like, when they move it too far to one side, that's when a whole bunch of, people start trying to grab it, and this has reached the equilibrium point. Hey, Super Pro, nice seeing you here. So yeah, this has reached equilibrium points, sitting at -3.5, going to -4, back and forth. I've been watching this total as well. It opened up at 220.5, but this has also been bouncing around. Some places moved it to 219.5. 219.5, so they're moving it down, while other places are moving it up to 221.5. So lots of disagreement going on between different sports books, because don't forget, all of these sports books have their own models and their own like proprietary, like, models and ways of looking at this and analyzing it. They're all building their own internal IT departments and lots of setup going on there. You guys weren't showing up in the last half of Wednesday's show? That is weird. I wonder what was going on. Well, I'm glad Rumble is showing up now. I don't like having technical issues and missing your guys' comments, so um, yeah, let me know if that happens again. Um, so yeah, most places this total in the NBA is just sitting around 220 and a half. And there is a lot of money being bet on the over right now. Um, huh, that is weird, Super James. Like, there's nothing about the break that would have caused that issue, but I don't know. I still have to like manually set up the Rumble like streamer configuration every time I launch this stream, so I don't know. Something could have like broken or happened, but you know, when I'm looking at all this money on the total, and there's a lot of people playing over, this money in particular doesn't look super sharp. It doesn't really look square though either, but it just looks very, very mixed. There's no super steam pushing this total, and I think that Vegas is probably expecting a more defensive game here, which is very interesting. I love all the cannabis emojis. Thanks, Super Pro. Yeah, I think Vegas is expecting that there's going to be some more defense in this game. Yet all of the public, all of the Joes, everyone, everyone is just throwing money on the over. But this is casual money, and you have to think about that as well. Like the sharps aren't really taking a position here. There's no steam movements going on with, you know, like people following the sharp bets or anything like that. This is really just one of those things where everyone's taking it over. People like to see over. So, you know, you could expect to see a lot of money going on to the over. I see Vegas shading this line down though. And, you know, I mean, looking at some of the more serious spots, it just doesn't seem like, you know, Vegas isn't making any big adjustments. They're not doing anything major, but they are, you know, maybe dropping it like a point or, you know, a little bit in some spots. So just slightly shading this line down. Nothing of huge significance, but I think Vegas is expecting this to be more of a defensive game than everyone thinks. Um, Super Steam. Wait. Oh. Oh, I like that. Is it going to be Super James or Super Fro who gets the Super Steam? The Super Steam nickname. I like that. So yeah, that's all I see here in this NBA game going on. You know, we've covered the spread and just how it's bouncing around. We've covered this total and really how, despite all of this over money that all of these casual bettors are throwing at this, because it's starting to slightly, and I mean just very slightly, shade this line down. So I think that's interesting. I would be leaning towards an under, but you know, these lines are tight. So, you know, consider that when you're playing this, because these lines are tight and Vegas just isn't moving anything a lot. Good morning, Tech Science. Nice to see you here. We are just about to dive into the WNBA. We covered the NBA game, and now we are going to talk about the Sky versus the Wings. This is also at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern game, and this is pretty interesting. I see a lot of people betting Dallas. It opened up -1.5, and it's still sitting at -1.5, despite a lot of people betting the Dallas Wings. So this is kind of interesting that Vegas hasn't really moved the spread. I'm just kind of staying away from it just because Vegas isn't moving, and you know, despite a lot of the public betting on the Wings, Vegas is holding this line. But what I do like in this game is what's looking really interesting to me here is the total. So it opened up at 175.5, went to 173.5, and now it's sitting at 173. And I like it. This is very mixed money. Vegas is moving this line all on their own, and they're moving it towards the under. So I grabbed it at 173.5, and I played the under right away, just because this is all mixed money. There isn't a ton of sharp action moving this, not a ton of Joe action moving this, just mixed money. So I like it. I like the under here. Looks like a nice little play. Under 173 and a half, but most spots have already moved it to 173. So, line shop around a little bit, see what you could get, but even 173 is still really good. Alrighty. So now it is time to roll into, hey Spencer, it is time to roll into the 2-minute drill. Now that we've covered the NBA and the WNBA, I have some baseball to cover with you. Lots of baseball games today, and yeah, I have some interesting plays that I think I would like to hear from you guys and hear what your feedback and thoughts are on some of them. So and that is right, everyone. Please give the stream a thumbs up if you haven't already. And also, if you haven't already, also subscribe. That would be great. That does help boost up my channel. I'm a small creator. And yeah, every thumb, every subscriber, it all counts. It all matters. And yeah, I love seeing the engagement. It's really wonderful. So that is... That is true, Super James. Good memory. All right, so stay with me for some baseball after the 2-minute drill. I'll see you guys soon. The WNBA is having a massive year in 2025. Caitlin Clark's arrival lit the fuse last year, and even amid the injury concerns, the league is drawing record viewership. They are selling out tickets, and there has been a serious spike in betting action. But if you are betting the WNBA totals in the same way that you bet the NBA totals, strictly on pace, you might just be walking into a trap. So let's break it down. In the NBA, pace is a reliable indicator. The league's average is around 1.14 points per possession, and the NBA rewards volume. More possessions, well, that typically translates into more points. But in the WNBA, this correlation does not hold, even with a similar tempo. Once you adjust for the shorter game, league-wide offensive efficiency is much, much lower. We're talking around 1 point per possession and sometimes even less. That might not sound like much, but this is everything. In conclusion, a WNBA game can look fast on paper, but if teams aren't converting possessions into buckets, those overs are going to stall, especially in the half court. So, while the tempo might feel very familiar, the scoring output just does not scale the same way. And that is why smart bettors look beyond pace, and they are focusing on points per possession, true shooting percentage, and how well teams actually finish their plays. If you're not measuring execution, you are guessing in the WNBA. And it's evolving fast. There are faster players, deeper benches, and more shooting. But until the league's average points per possession rises significantly, totals handicapping requires a more precise lens in the WNBA. So follow the efficiency. That is where the edge is. I hope you guys enjoyed that 2-minute drill. Yeah, learning a little bit more about betting in the WNBA. I thought that was really interesting, good information, and yeah, it's not like betting in the NBA. So, really as you apply your analysis, you do need to look at these sports differently and, use different angles, use a new lens, and, also look at the math, I guess, is what I'm trying to say as well. Is like, that's so important. These statistics are out there. This is all available. Don't forget that right now, as I speak, like, there are literally I mean, all of these players are getting tracked, whether it's through computer vision or, like these infrared signals off of their jerseys or anything. I mean, there's so much information out there. So sticking to the math will always, always help your handicapping strategy. So, yeah, I'm glad you like the info. Thank you so much. Thank you, Spencer. Thank you. Alrighty, so let's dive on into baseball. These run lines, I'm not gonna lie, you guys always call me a run line whisperer, but these run lines are a little tricky today. I kind of have a feeling that there are going to be a few upsets in Major League Baseball today. Quite a few upsets, and even potentially one run games. So I think this is going to be an interesting day. I, believe it or not, am actually looking at a lot of money lines in baseball. I know I usually don't play those, but today this is really where it seems like the action is happening. So we're going to go over a few of those. I do have a run line that I'm looking at, and of course there's lots of totals to be played, so plenty of action here. Um, yeah, the run lines have been a bit tighter. So, I agree with you, Tech Science. I think it's okay to really like, maybe not not go so heavily like into the run lines until things start stabilizing a little bit more, until you really start seeing like how's this season going to shape up. Yeah, lots of upsets, I think. You like the Rangers to upset? Okay, Tyler. That's pretty interesting. I was looking at that game as well. So you like the Rangers to upset though. That's cool. All right, let's get into some of my plays of the day. I think there's going to be a lot of upsets today. So just keep that in the back of your mind as you are betting on these baseball games today. Let's first talk about the Tampa Bay Rays versus the Houston Astros. This is a 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern game. That's right, Super Pro. All right. Now, like I said, I don't usually look up money lines, like really not a lot, but today I am looking at this Astros money line. It opened up at minus 118. It's already moved out to minus 135. I don't like to play minus 135s that much, but I do like it at minus 130. So shop around, and I think if you could catch it at minus 130, that is still a good play. So seeing that big move on the money line there was pretty interesting to me, but the run line, I'm just gonna stay away from. But sitting at plus, or sitting at not plus, sitting at minus 130 right now, I still think the Astros, just to win is really a good play. I like it. Now let's talk about the Yankees playing the Dodgers. This is at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern tonight, and this will be a fun game. I am predicting that the Yankees bats are going to wake up, and I'm looking at the money line, I'm looking at the run line here, and in fact I'm even looking at the total here. So we have a few different things to break down in this game. Let's analyze all of these lines because this is exciting. I mean, who's going to be watching the Yankees versus Dodgers tonight? It's going to be a big game, and you know West Coast versus East Coast, right? So this Yankees money line opened up at plus 105, went to minus 110. So just seeing that flip, how they went from a plus 105 to a minus, seeing that line flip pretty early, that was interesting. That definitely signaled to me that the sports books think that the Yankees bats are going to be waking up today, and really, like could be potentially a lot of runs as well, but seeing that money line move on the Yankees. Okay, yeah, exactly. They have flipped to slight favorite, so yeah, it did flip. I think it's pretty good. And then looking at this run line as well, this also flipped. It went from +1.5 -210 to -1.5 +145. Now this is not a huge move, but it's decent. It's a decent move. This wasn't, a huge flip, but it was a decent move. And I think if this run line moves a little bit more, just remember this is the 7 o'clock game, plenty of time. If this run line moves a little bit more, this might be a key game tonight, and especially if the Dodgers are not looking like the play, I really think this could be potentially a good night for the Yankees. I want to see this run line move, and if it does move, and if it keeps moving, there might even be a potential ladder spot here. You might just want to bring out the step stool, but maybe a potential ladder spot, so that's what I'm keeping my eye on. This Yankees money line, this Yankees run line, and both of them flipped. They were underdogs, now they're the favorites. This total is interesting as well. It opened up over 9.5, -105. Then it went to over 9.5, -115. And then it moved again. Now you usually don't see an over sitting over 9.5 at -121, but that happened already with level 1 money. And then it moved again. So right now it's sitting over 10.5 -125. This is a huge move towards the over. That's right, Super Pro. Enjoying the cannabis leaves. Maybe I'll take a quick little smoke break. Because we have a lot of plays in this game. So we are liking the Yankees today. I like the money line. I would love to see this run line move just a little bit more. So we're keeping our eye on this because this doesn't start till later. This is the 7 o'clock game. So plenty of time for this line to develop. But if this run line keeps moving in the right direction, and, let's just, keep our ears open, make sure there's, just nothing out of the ordinary that, is happening. Like, this is looking like a key move and a potential ladder spot if it really, starts moving. So I'm liking the Yankees. Yeah. So the money line, looking super, but the run line looking like it could develop, and this over is looking really good. I mean, this was a huge move, and now it's already saying over 10.5. You could get the over 10.5 at +1, or no, it's not sitting there. I grabbed the over 10.5. I mean, at +125. So you could get that over for a high plus money number, +125. Yeah, I think this is going to be a game with a lot of runs today. Feeling good. Definitely feeling good about the Yankees bats. So I like those plays in this game. I really do. And then, all right. So those are the plays I like there. Let's talk about this Cardinals Rangers game. Alrighty. Now, I know Tyler is liking the Rangers to upset. I'm looking at the total in this game. This opened up over a -105 and went to over 8.5 -112. So a little bit of a move that, that was a good move on the total. And it really wasn't backed by, like a ton of significant money. So more of a Vegas move, if anything. So I like the over here. So now we already have a couple of good, potential over spots in Major League Baseball, but there is one under spot that I am looking at for today, and let me tell you about that. So now you have your overs. I know everyone loves the overs. Sorry guys, I bumped the camera lens. I know everyone loves playing the overs, but I do have an under to really kind of balance things out as well. Get a cultivated group of bets, right? So I have the Giants versus Marlins going under. It opened up under a -118 and went to under 7.5, -113 on some mixed money. So just a Vegas move, not a ton of money moving it, just a Vegas move. And then I went to -115. So even from -113, it moved to -115. So to me, that says, especially because it's not backed by a lot of money, but looking at these odds and looking at how this line has dropped, I have a point. I do like the under here in this game. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Those are all of my plays in baseball today. I know there are plenty of other games, but I really wanted to look at like what are my top plays, and what's really happening there. And I think there's going to be a lot of upsets today. You really have to pick your spots today, is what I'm thinking in baseball. So today I really wanted to pick my spot. We thoroughly analyzed that Yankees game. We had a few more games, and let's talk about cannabis now, because I wanted to bring you guys a few headlines. You like the Cubs. Cool. I did not have that on my bet list for today, but they are playing the Rockies, and oh no, that was the other day. I'm sorry. They are playing the Reds. Yeah, that Cubs money line's already sitting at -175. I do see a bit of money coming in on the run line there. Interesting. Well, that's interesting. It is starting to catch some money, but I don't think I'm gonna play that run line today. I just like the few little bets that I like. I'm being a little selective, and yeah, I think today is a good day to be selective and really just find our spots. And if the Yankees run line moves and keeps moving in the right direction, could be a potential ladder spot. So make sure to sign up for my free daily emails, because we are going to be tracking this line, and I will be sending this out after the show when the lines have updated. So if you haven't signed up for my free daily emails, please do so just by going to arielcalista.com, clicking on the button that says stay in touch. It's free, it's easy. You get all the sports information, my picks of the day, pictures of me every day, and so much more. So yeah. Okay, Chuck Science, you're liking the Cubs run line. It is catching a bit of money. I do see that, like quite a bit of money. So yeah, +135. Some spots have it at +140, +126. Yeah, it's line shop around, guys. Yeah, I think if you line shop here, you might be able to like find some better plus money, and just because it's a little bit all over the place, just depending on the sports book. But yeah, okay, so you're leaning towards the Cubs run line. Interesting. Alrighty, well, I wanted to do something different for this cannabis segment. Now that you have all of my games of the day, let's sit back, relax, and get ready to win some of these wagers, right? Alrighty. So I wanted to talk about some cool cannabis headlines, like some of the new innovative things that are happening in the cannabis world. And one of the companies that I'm actually looking at investing in right now is 3D printing cannabinoids. So for example, like think about like the Listerine like breath mints, or I mean they're not mints, but like the breath strips. Like you place it on your tongue, it dissolves into your mouth, your breath feels minty for hours, right? and it's a great experience. Well, this company that I'm looking at, they are currently printing cannabinoids onto like little strips just like that. They dissolve into your mouth. And you could be very precise about these cannabinoids as well. You know, like how many milligrams you want. And then, you know, once you start talking about like nano and like nanoing these cannabinoids, then things get really crazy. But yeah, they're right now they're printing cannabinoid infused tablets and dissolvable films. So it could be in like a tablet pill form as well, or a film, kind of like the Listerine, and just kind of all different delivery devices. So it gives you more control over your dose and release time, and you know, combining the 3D printed cannabinoids with like, you know, you could combine it with terpenes and you know, adaptogens. Like there's so many purposes for this product, and it's just a new way of like bringing 3D printing into the cannabis field, and I love seeing that. You know, things are really happening fast in the cannabis field. I mean, even when I was at the Champ Show, I saw a booth, and you know, last year, the year before, every cannabis company was saying like, oh, we have nano products, everything here is nano, etc. But it never was. I mean, you could ask, I mean, if you could get to talk to their chemist, I mean, you would find out that it very quickly wasn't true nano. So I mean, you know, that's starting to explode in development now. Another interesting thing that I saw at the Champ Show was cannabis beverages. When I first started selling, you know, a lot of Delta 8, like really opening up the market for Delta 8, it was very new at the time, and my company was the first to sell 1 million Delta 8 cartridges. A lot of different people were coming to my company. I was always in meetings with just different groups of businesses that would come to us and show us like their cannabis beverage products. And for the most part, like you could see like the cannabis like particles that are, I mean, it just didn't taste good, or you know, it just wasn't nano. I mean, the particles were so big you could see them, or it just wouldn't, you know, like blend right. And now cannabis beverages are everywhere. I mean, you could buy them in your smoke shops. You could, you know, they go from like 10 to 50 milligrams. I mean, and they're drinks and they taste good, which I think is really key. You could get ones that taste like the Snapple peach tea. Seriously. Or I love that. Or Coca-Cola. And it tastes good. They have a lot of cannabinoids in it, so you will get high. But that's part of the process. I think it's a beautiful thing, and I think, you know, right now a lot of companies are just, you know, forging their way forward in the beverage industry because the government has been so, you know, like lethargically slow on regulating anything. You know, the FDA is, I mean, you can have Congress literally telling the FDA to like that they need to do something. And then they'll say, okay, we'll do it. And then you have them saying, well, no, you actually need to do it. And then they just still won't do it. I mean, so people are just going ahead with these drink products. Obviously, like it's, you know, because it's not as regulated. Major beverages like Pepsi and Coca-Cola, they can't get into it even though they want to. So it is smaller brands right now, but you know, all of these smaller brands do have like, and they are big brands too. I mean, they are selling like, you know, a few $1 million plus a year worth of product, but you know, potentially it's going to take over the cannabis market. And especially when you start seeing these cannabis lounges, that is a new innovation that I wanted to get into next. California passed Assembly Bill 1775, which has legalized Amsterdam style like cannabis cafes where you could get non-cannabis food and non-cannabis beverages and sit there and enjoy it, and also have your cannabis products alongside that, which I think is really cool. Now we could like enjoy your cannabis beverage, like if you're getting like cannabis infused, I don't know, like peach tea. You could enjoy it with some regular food, which I think is the perfect combination because we all know that stoners get the munchies. Nanos, not bananas. That does sound like definitely a superhero name. I like it. I like it. That's funny. But yeah, I just think that the cannabis industry is growing so much. It's exciting to see all of these new products going forward and just new ways of enjoying cannabis. And I think, 3D printing cannabis is going to be huge. I mean, of course, you have to be able to scale the printing process and get it faster, but with technology and when you start looking at like the curves of acceleration, which was obviously like coined by Ray Kurzweil, we really are in that stage of acceleration where within, like a few years, they're just going to see all kinds of crazy stuff. And, a big part of it's going to be because of AI, manufacturing and developing things faster than, we could even do on our own. So I'm excited for the future. Oh, I like it. I get to join in the Super Pro and Super James by being the super hot. Oh, I love that. We could be like three superheroes. We're all super. Alrighty, well that was all of my cannabis news and sports plays of the day, and I kind of love the super team. I'm definitely joining the super team. It's like way better than I don't know, some of these other nicknames I've heard people come up with for superheroes. So I could see that the super team. We win bets, gamble, smoke weed, save the day with cannabis. I love it. I love it, guys. All right. Well, I had so much fun today. Good luck, everyone, on all of your wagers. I hope you all have a wonderful winning weekend, and good luck today, everyone. Next Wednesday is the 4th. I won't be doing a live stream that day. I'm busy with some family, so but I will see you next Saturday. So I will be back here. I hope to see you also all back here as well, and we will be back Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, and I guess I will miss you guys all so much. Good luck, everyone, and you guys know how to reach me. I've been advertising my Snapchat a little bit more, trying to get more people over to it. I'm not really putting bets or anything out there, but if you just want to follow me and check out my stories, just kind of posting wherever I'm at or going out to get lunch or dinner or whatever. Lots of fun there. That's AriBets98, so you can follow me there as well. Make sure to follow my free daily emails just by going to arielcalista.com. Click Stay in Touch button right there. It's right at the top, and when you subscribe to these free daily emails, you could write me back directly anytime, any questions that you have, right in my inbox, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining the Sports Betting Illuminated live stream today. Good luck on all of your wagers. I hope we do a lot of winning today, and have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you guys all around.